Perfect Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. We're out today in search of Delano Burkes. Now, behind me is the direction in which he was running towards this way, towards T.C. Jester and Beaver Street. We believe this was on Sunday the 13th. I want you all to check your video cameras from 1 a.m. to say 1:20 a.m. That's Sunday the 13th, to see if you saw anybody walking, running, if you saw any cars that stopped along this area. I'm going to pan out so you can see the area in which I'm talking about. Anyone that has a video camera, ring doorbell, especially this apartment complex to my right, the apartment complex behind me, or along this street, Beavers and T.C. Jester. Let's take a look. As you can see right here, the above would help. Timber Groves Sports Association is where we're at now. Any video footage, even if it's coming from this angle, if the video footage is coming from this angle, if the video footage is coming from this angle, and we're headed on to the Bayou area. All of this that you see, if you see any footage, any video cameras on your car, anything that you may have seen, that's Sunday, November 13th, around 1 a.m. to 1:20 a.m. We're gonna pan over to anybody heading in that direction. If you see, if you saw a car that was at the stop sign that may have sat there for a while, call, send that video in. Right now, if you want to remain anonymous, you can send that video to COLD, B as in boy, LAC at iCloud.com. That's COLD, BLAC at iCloud.com. Thanks. Okay, as you can see, we're here at T.C. Jester and Beaver Street, at the City Park in the Heights apartment community. Any video cameras up in this area that's seen a car stop right at this stop sign for a long period of time, or anybody jogging this way, walking this way, please send the video in to the Houston Police Department. And if you want to remain anonymous, once again, that's COLD, BLAC at iCloud.com, in which you can email that video. Now we're going to go across the street and head to the Bayou. Now, as you can see, this is a pretty steep hill, and the water has risen after rain. So that means that Sunday on the 13th, when they were missing, it was low. That following Monday, it rained, and you can see how high the water has risen after rain. Now, I was told that you can easily trip and stumble into this bayou due to the fact of how steep it is. And this is just another theory. So many theories out there, but we just exploring all theories. And everyone who we came in contact with that day is a suspect. We have to exhaust all angles. We can't rule out anything until we get to the bottom of what happened to Delano Burkes, and we're going to keep going. Now, when the water is low, you can cross this bayou, run right across and go to the other side. So, like I said, it's so many uh, theories to this case, but we want to exhaust all theories until we come to a conclusion on what happened to Delano Burke. Saw this in memory of Christina, December 5th, 2002, Trees for Houston. Watch a young Delano Burkes, aged 19, as he was being harassed by a police officer in the docudrama Everyday People, the movie. Watch him, tell him. Young brother in a nice ride. Tell him he's gonna make up something to pull him over. There you go. What I tell you? Let me pull over. Let me get this footage. I gotta film this. Make sure the young brother's safe.
How you doing, sir? Deputy Van there, County Sheriff's Office. Appreciate you pulled over today. You're kind of sweeping back there. Realize that? Weren't controlling single lane? Okay. Where you headed to? Home? Can you turn it off real quick for me? Where you going? Home.
Charles North George.
Step up on me real quick.
Another harassment.
We always think there.
You got any knives, guns, drugs, anything? No drugs, anything like that? You should take your hands out of your pockets, man. Can you turn around real quick? How old are you?
44 Charles
19. Okay. Hey, put your hands behind your back real quick, man. Hold on. Don't do that. What's happening, sir? Huh? Sir, what's happening? You're being detained. Wait, why? Don't do that. Why am I being detained? I throw marijuana in there. Don't do that.
Sir, that's not a reason to detain me, sir.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it
Have
is.
you found any marijuana, sir?
I smell it come from inside the car.
There's no marijuana.
All right. Yeah, stop.
Sir, have you found... No, sir, that is not a valid reason to detain me. Yes, sir, that is not a valid reason to detain me.
Yeah, it is. All right.
Sir, please.
You're resisting right now.
Did you hear him? Did you hear what he said? Sir, right? Respectfully. That is not a reason to detain me. In other words, you can't just treat me like I don't exist and do what you want just because you have the badge on and create a situation that's putting my life in jeopardy. Brilliant.
Please, put your arm. Sir, that is not a valid... You have not found a valid reason to arrest me. Sir, you have not done... Sir, you have not found a valid... That is not a valid reason. Sir, put your hands in position. Put your hands behind your back. That is not a reason to arrest me. Put your hands behind your back. That is not a reason to arrest me. Put your hands behind your back. That's not it. Somebody else. Put your hands behind your back.
Oh man, I'm tired of this shit. Police brutality, black. So while I was searching for Delano Burkes, I received a text from a source who sent me a picture of Delano's body when it was pulled out of the water at the port of Houston and it was laying on a gurney. And supposedly there was a gunshot wound to that body according to other sources. And it leads to the question of what actually happened. Right. If there was a gunshot wound, who did it, the video cameras and the Ring doorbell cameras is very important. Very important. is very important. We have to figure out what took place. Now I want to thank Houston's soon-to-be mayor, Robin Williams, for her help in the search for Delano Burkes. All of the media coverage who came, Sheila Jackson Lee, Mayor Sylvester Turner, but especially his family, because his family showed strength and unity. They were out there showing that care and love that they have for their family member. Now, the thing that gets me is, here's a guy who owned his own real estate firm, trying to be productive in this society. I remember in December 19th, 2015, when Delano Burkes was harassed by a police officer, and the community got behind him, and all charges was dropped. Let me tell you what happened. And you can also see this is in my docudrama, Everyday People, the movie, which is being played at this moment on Grind City Network, which is on Roku. Get the channel. He was pulled over. Supposedly, first the cop said you were sweaving, like if his tire crossed over a lane. Then the police officer said he smelled marijuana. Now, where the police officer was at, and it was nighttime, right? Not too many cars on the road. Where the police officer first saw him and hit his lights, the Delano windows was up. There was no way that there was any marijuana smell that can be smelled by a police officer. But that just was a tactic or an excuse just to pull him over. He pulls Delano over, and Delano said, "What's the problem, sir? What happened?" Right? Very polite. He said, "Well, you were sweaving back there, and I smelled marijuana. Put your hands behind your back." He said, that does not give you authority to arrest me. Now, it's pissing the officer off because, I ran into a smart, young black male. I believe Delano was 19 at the time. But now, let me show you how it separates things, right? They want to put all black men in one box. And then they want to make sure all black men have something on their record, even if they have to plan it, right? Because in their minds, they feel like that who's going to care, right? Yeah, they think we're all the same. They think that there's no family members. Black people don't have money to go get lawyers. Black people don't want to take the time to challenge us. No, that's not true. It's a lot of black families out here who love their loved ones, and they'll do everything that it takes, right, to make sure that their loved ones is handled properly and get justice that they deserve. And it goes to show you that those who are out there committing crimes against each other, meaning black on black crime, stop it. It's ridiculous. You make yourself look like idiots. You mean to tell me you got that much hate for yourself and someone that looks like you, that you will murder them over superficial things? You will murder them over petty little grievances. It shows that there's something wrong with the culture and your psyche. Now, some people say, well, hell, it's the music. The music changed since we were talking about unity, and we were talking about issues that were affecting us as a people, and then we were saying that over tracks, creating songs and an attempt to uplift the community. But someone said, no, let's put a low frequency vibration within that music, and let's talk about degrading things that will pull the community down, because we don't want black people to ascend. We want to keep them in their quote unquote place. So those of you who are feeding into that, you are predators, and the time is out for the nonsense. And so now you're going to have people that are not going to protect you. There was a time in the community to where we would see things that would go on in the community and wouldn't say anything, even though you just hurt a good person's family member. You just carjacked a good person. You know, you were preying on good people, and the community was quiet. I don't want to get involved. I don't want them showing up at my doorstep hurting me. It's over. The people rather live in peace or fight back trying to create peace, because we deserve peace, especially from our own people, right? So I'm not saying that that causes the police to treat another black male who is not doing anything, has a good heart, wants to help the community, but by the actions of others causes people to associate the good one with the bad and just paint all black men with one broad brush. That's not what I'm saying. Because racism is racism and racism. A racist cop, all he sees is a black male. He's not going to take the time to find out that person's history or that person's credentials or what college did you go to or what's your address, or he just see a black male, and in his mindset, I got to put something on his record or I got to harass him. And I'll play some of that if I want to show you how at 19 how Delano Burkes handled himself, right? And there'll be more to come, because those actions were the actions of a revolutionary who died too soon. A brilliant mind that we all was benefiting from while he was alive, because the way he portrayed and displayed himself, and if you met him, you couldn't say all young black males are this, all young black males are in gangs, all young black males are gangsters or streets or killers or jackers. No, you say, no, not all black men, because I met a young black man who had his own business, who was thriving, who was married, trying to provide for his family. So there are examples out there. It's just the media just wants to portray black males as predatory and as gangsters and whatnot, because it fits their narrative. But we're going to get away from that. You got people out here who's working, that's doing great works. You got Homestead Slim out here doing his thing, right? You got High Frequency out doing their thing for the community and building their brand, giving back to the community. You got For the Love Records. You have A-Tone Productions. You got Verbal Peak Radio. You got Vegan Vibes. You got Daisies and Pancakes. teaching people how to roller skate and bringing joy into the lives of the community. You got so many, but don't nobody highlight what's good. You know, they only portray and highlight the negative. We don't care about people who doing negative things and committing negative acts or committing crimes against their own kind. Nobody care about that. You know, that's played out. We want to highlight those who are building up the people in the community, opening up businesses, that's doing good, that's making money, that's traveling. You know what I mean? Buying big boats. What's up, Tay? That's just enjoying life and not hiding behind a tree or hiding behind a building, waiting for an elderly black woman to come home so you can run up and snatch her purse. Right? We don't want to hide. That's not cool. We don't want to see that. That's ridiculous. That's a coward. You attacking an elderly black woman for a purse, and you don't think the community's not going to say anything? That's ridiculous. Or we don't care about a savage individual who will lure a young black female to Mexico and then kill her and then try to cover it up. We not with that. That's not nothing to brag about. You know, seeing women fight each other or black men fight and shoot each other and having gang war. That's played out. You know, we trying to build a nation. But I want you all to check out how Delano Burkes carried himself when that officer had no reason for even pulling him over in the first place. And that's why they had to drop all charges against Delano Burkes, which kept his record and his name clean.
Burkes Radio, we live at 1919 Smith Street. I'm getting ready to go into a press conference with Sheila Jackson Lee on the missing and death of Delano Burkes. I'll bring you coverage in just a minute. Burkes Radio.
The page. Karen has been, as I've come to call her, unceasing and unrelenting regarding her beloved and very wonderful son. She's a mother of two sons. And she loves all of her family, her extended family, his brothers and sisters. They're all part of her family. And so I want Karen to come as she comes, and I will ask Bishop Dixon, Senior Pastor of Community of Faith, President of the ACP, but more importantly, someone who has lifted up humanity in all the work that he's done. And to hear from him to open up the question. Please, would you introduce your family and, of course, your support system, please? Thank you.
I have my son here, my older son, Stephen Burkes. This is Delano's dad, and this is his wife, Autumn Burkes, Peachy Monet Burkes, Leslie Crow, his uncle, and his other brother, Pierre Burkes. Also, Amy Schroeder, she's been extremely helpful. She's been with me the whole time, and we stay on the phone really late at night, try to figure some things out, and also find stoppers as well. We are very consistent with the belief that our son, brother David, was drugged. I believe that he did not have control of his legs. He would have not lasted long enough to run far enough to make it to a body of water to be found in, to have gotten into the Bayou, Buffalo Bayou, that we had to report. And if he had gone in at Bayou, the water wasn't consistent enough or high enough to carry him throughout that time to the Buffalo Bayou. So believe that something else happened. We do believe that people know about it, someone knows about it. Hopefully, someone can help us, give us some tips as to where and what could have happened with him. The phone number is 732 tips. They've been working with us, and hopefully we can get the community to help us as well. We're desperately in need of some answers here.
Make sure that we acknowledge Mr. Burkes' dad has been passionate. We're going to have the bishop speak and you're going to have the speakers first. Okay? Thank you so very much. And as I said, I'd like to welcome Bishop David, Bishop James Dixon. When we spoke, I never saw someone rise so quickly to express his deep sympathy and ask me whatever he could do. He wanted you to know how much you care for the family. That is the way Bishop Dixon is. His presence and tone is something other than Bishop James Dixon.
Thank you, Congressman Desiree, who covers the whole city, it seems. And we've seen her in this place so many times. And we honor you for that, all the work that you do. Certainly to the Crown Conference team as well, all the work that you do, and to this family today. I regret being you under these circumstances, but we understand the fact that we really are one family, and when something happens to one household, it happens to our household at large. We all occupy the same city, we drive the same streets, we eat in the same restaurants, we drink the same water. So what happens to one happens to all of us. And so today, I've come today to pledge support on behalf of our church, the NACP, the Eastern Metro Conference with Pastor Sam Gilbert. But to say to you, you have unceasingly been in our prayers. Unceasingly been in our prayers. And I have spoken several times like I just want to say whatever we can do. I hope that these are the times when you feel almost helpless. I hope that you will be inspired by our presence today to know that sometimes the arc of justice is long, but it does end towards justice. We will be in this fight with you to determine whatever facts there are to be found. But we too want to urge, as others have, anyone who has any information concerning this circumstance, please do the moral thing. Do what you would want done if this was your son, your husband, your brother, your friend. No one would want to be standing where this family is today under any circumstance, and certainly knowing that someone has vital information that you could share to help bring just closure to this unfortunate tragedy. We're going to be spreading this word throughout our churches, throughout our community, making sure that everyone knows that the life of Delano Burkes matters to all of us. Thank you, Congressman, for these moments, and whatever we can do beyond a press conference, do know that we have our full and unwavering support and concern. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. What a contribution, Bishop. Thank you so very much. I think if we begin to add more persons to this role of trying to determine what may have happened, we may get where we need to be. Let me remind you that the police are now investigating 3 men who wound up in the waterway. There's something tragic and something strange. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but that is something tragic and something strange. And I want to acknowledge that this gentleman came for his child's surgery. We remember when he was missing now and everyone was looking for him. And he wound up in the waterway. And Delano winds up in the waterway, Mcintyre winds up in the waterway. So let me, before we take questions, ask Mr. Delano, Mr. Burkes, his dad, to come and as well be able to speak. This is Mr. Burkes.
I do want to thank you all. I do appreciate you all's support and everything that goes with this tragedy we're dealing with. I just want to continue to ask Houston in general, please just extend the support, the assistance, and helping us all find closure in this tragedy. I want to thank Ms. Sheila Jackson, Bishop, Crime Stoppers, Amy. We're still in the answer shop. And we need
His wife, Mrs. Burkes, has been with the family all along.
I think I definitely want to thank everybody who's showed their support throughout this entire time to our family. And I think as long with everybody else that has basically said that we just need closure. We need answers. We need somebody to speak up. Delano was a kind, sweet, generous person, and somebody like that doesn't just randomly end up in a shit channel. So I think for sure, as a community, we need to speak up and realize that this could have been your husband, your brother, your sister, your son, and that we need answers. And at this point, I feel like it's been quite some time and we're not really getting any answers from anyone, and I know that Houston's very large. Someone's seen something. So I definitely just encourage everybody to speak up as if it was one of your family members, so that we can get closure and justice for everything that's going on. Thank you.
Let me finish and just say that young people go out. There's nothing wrong with that. Young people have good times. Young people have friends. In this instance, we had odd behavior, but we have no facts. So we're asking you to help us. This was in and around the Heights area. I love the Heights. I represent the Heights. People come to the Heights to enjoy themselves. Bishop Dixon said this is where they're from, so we want people to do that. But we want to be able to find out the facts. And again, I know the volume like the back of my hand. It's quite a volume. But we've got finding Mr. Burkes in the ship channel, the port. Others in the buffalo line. Water doesn't move. But again, 3 young men in varying ages. And I think this has caught the attention of our law enforcement. We want it to catch the attention of our community. You see something, say something. You have the ability to be anonymous, 713-222-KIDS. And you can call anonymously to the Houston Police Department. With that, we'll take any questions.
Congresswoman, did the medical examiners have a timeline on when their report would be ready?
The medical examiner indicated that they are at a pause to hear from the law enforcement as to what they have been able to determine further. Found witnesses to say something different. I assume the family, since we were together, the body had been in the water for a period of time, and so we are being restrained by that. The medical examiner is being restrained by that. But in any event, They are now waiting on the actions of the police. So that's the time frame to do.
So on the report, the tests have already been run? Are you?
Oh, no, the toxicology reports have not come in yet. And they did say that was going to take a while to come in, but they have sent those away. Mother the DNA was affirmed that it was him by the fingerprints by the Department of Public Safety to the family's satisfaction. So we do not have a final determination of the coroner on the medical examiner as the cause. I just want to repeat, there's a lot of video out in the public arena, I think, and there are places where he disappeared and then came out again, and there are signs of walking. And I don't know if anyone is taking a measuring tape as to where he was to where the body of water was, which is the Bayou. But I think all of that needs to be looked into, as tedious as it might seem. All of that needs to be looked at.
Right.
Where he was in the main thoroughfare, and then to get to that area. And these other gentlemen here, how did they wind up in those circumstances? And I guess I'm going into these facts. It looks like none of these individuals were in cars. They were all on their feet. So it wasn't a car going into the Bayou, as I understand it.
Now, was there any video footage of inside of Mcintyre's bar when he was exited to leave inside of the bar?
There is video footage of it. We don't have it. We haven't seen it ourselves. But we have it.
What is law enforcement telling you? I guess, are they running into a roadblock trying to investigate this?
As of right now, from my understanding, we're waiting for a toxicology report. We've been told that could take as much as 3 to 6 months. So hopefully we can get it a little sooner. That's what we're told right now.
We're hoping, we're having this press conference because we're hoping that this will encourage someone to refresh their memory as to where they were on those days in November preceding Thanksgiving. And that if we get more tips, we can give that to law enforcement and they can be doing 2 actions at once. The toxicology report, but as well investigating these leads over and over again, if you will. And then maybe they are also making an assessment on these 3 that they now have, and to see whether there's any connection to the loss of these 3 young men, and the fact that they were found in a bayou, in a water area. And how did they get there? And I don't want to put on my investigation hat, but they were not driving, they're all seemingly walking on foot, and they wind up deceased and in water. And there could be some overlaying circumstances. This family is not saying that. They just want to get the facts and the truth. And I assume and would offer my sympathy to these other families that they too would want the truth and the facts.
If there's anyone that does live in that Heights area, along that bayou, well, run along that bayou or bike along that bayou, and you may have seen him on the 13th or the 14th, he would have been stumbling around. I know it's a very active area, very active walking, bike trail, and hiking trail. So if he was there, he would have, even if he had fallen and maybe went to sleep and woke back up, he still wouldn't have been in his right mind, and he still would have probably been fumbling about. So it would have been pretty good to remember him. So just try to recollect. Yes. Yes, and he didn't look like he should be on the bayou riding. He was dressed in, clothes. He's actually 5'11". He's 5'11", 200 pounds. He's a works out, has always worked out. He's very athletic, but the last time we saw him, he was not, his mobility was off. So also, one of the things that I want to stress too is that we need to see if we can get all of the video footage. I know that sometimes after 30 days, this video footage lapses and it'll record over what's existing. And that'll basically, if we don't get that footage, that could potentially erase some of the evidence. So if it was actually around the 12th, it was the 12th and the 13th. This would have been Saturday, so this would have been Saturday the 12th and then Sunday the 13th. But Saturday, he was in that Heights area. He was at Austin's, he was at Mcintyre, he was at Mcintyre, he was at Brewster's, he was at Rossushi, he was at Coleman's. Those are all of the locations that we know of he was at that day. So if you guys can check your video footage and see if you see anything that can give us some tips as to anything. The people he was with, maybe if he was eating something, from my understanding he didn't eat anything, but we do have a little bit of evidence that we're not going too much in detail with, but from the forensics that we need to know if he ate and where he ate. And that'll help us a lot with our research that we've been doing. So, thank you.
Thank you so very much, Karen, Burkes, to the family, to Delano's wife, Amy, and Delano, the Prime Again, thank you for giving us the expanse of the church family, NAACP. I think it'll go a long way. So I'll just conclude by saying, I worked in Washington with missing exploited children for many, many years. And so persons who are missing have a special place in my concern, my legislative history. And it transcends and translates to this community where we've had any number of missing persons. Families have been devastated. Delano was missing for a period of time. And the family had wished beyond hope, or wished with hope, that he might have been found somewhere, some hospital, some place where they could have brought him home. That did not befall them. That did not happen to them. In the midst of Thanksgiving and a season that we all want to be with family, we not only have Delano Burkes, but we have many families, but in this instance, this scenario, we have two other families who've had this same struggle. And so we're asking, in the spirit of this time of year, this holiday, time that we all want to be with our family, we're asking you, Houston, to let us know any facts that might be helpful to this grieving family. And again, Crime Stoppers is objective and it is non-condemning. All they do is take the information, 713-222-TIPS, and there is a
determined that foul play or homicide is an issue. Of course, Crime Stoppers report is always available up to $5,000. We're waiting on HPD investigation at that front. That's always available.
Thank you. So help this family find the truth in this time when families want to be together. And I thank the media too for their interest in this. I think this is going to make a big difference to find some solace, some comfort for this family.
Also, in order for his phone records to be pinged, his location to be pinged, it has to be considered a crime. And as of now, it's not considered a crime. It's in limbo. It's missing person homicide. That's why it's so imperative that we get the citizens to assist us, because we don't even know where his phone last picked up Saturday. So it's so important
Thank you all very much.
Whole family spirit will not rest
Right.
until we got the answer.
That's right. Look,
We will not give up, man.
that's right. All of Houston, everybody that, because from what Sheila Jackson Lee was stating, that there have been 3 bodies that's been found in that water. So we want to know who's doing this and why they are doing this, and are they just targeting men of color? So we want all the answers, you know.
Keep in mind, it is not a coincidence. There are 3 men that are missing, that have been missing. And one of them is our son.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And again, man, we need answers.
We need answers.
We want to thank everybody for their support and every effort that they can give in us getting to what we've been looking for, getting the answer and the closure that our family needs.
Yeah. And appreciate you for being strong and being an example, man, of a black father, man, of fathers going after and searching and showing love for their children. This is an example. We all got to get involved and follow this example, man. But the city of Houston, we appreciate you, bro.
Welcome to Verbal Prick Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. We are live at the location of Delano Burkes' funeral. It's a very somber day. A lot of people are grieving. The whole community showed up in respect for Delano Burkes. We'll keep you all informed of what's going on, but and most of all, do not forget, this situation is not over with. There are further investigations to determine what actually took place, so I want you all to be aware. We'll stay tuned.